You'd be surprised at how little people actually think about you.
Oh, yeah, that's your mom.
You can hear it, you can see it.
See it, yeah.
And now I'm uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah.
You don't want to be that presenter that's making everybody uncomfortable.
You're like, oh, wow.
Let's all just take a break for 15 minutes.
Maybe get some water, Valium, whatever.
Yeah, I'm actually not feeling that great, so I didn't get a degree from every college I went to. I'm just super proud.
So proud. Like, I can't even imagine the pressure. I did not know that. I'm trying not to laugh. Hey, party's on, but...
Cooper's off. If you don't know, I'm an introvert. Where have you been? Shaen. And his wife, Meghan.
Yes.
Which
the
is
irony
a
there.
whole other story there. Oh, by the way, hi.
Hey, yeah. Hi.
Somehow I'm pulling it off. Like, what else do we need? Like, planning?
Yeah. I'm pretty awesome at that. Like, is someone breaking into our car?
Have you ever tried to lose weight and get in shape for a beach vacation and you end up gaining weight? Like,
wait, but the shower is not draining.
Yeah.
At all.
Probably your hair.
Probably my hair.
They don't flush, they just bubble.
Bubble.
And fill a little bit more, which is scary.
Which is really scary.
I feel like you're gonna, drown in your own sewage at that point.
We're swimming in sewage.
Do you know anybody that puts toilet paper in a trash can?
Not in the U.S.
In the U.S. It is not ideal, but it's also not Armageddon. Long story short, I was a very good, high percentage free throw shooter. I hit the side of the backboard to the right of the rim. It's a fair point you make, as usual, right? Well argued in the court of Eminem.
The court of Eminem and in my own...
And in your own mind.
Yeah. That my heart was like beating through the jacket I was wearing, I was terrified.
We are going to the other side of the world
right.
and having an awesome background for our next podcast. So whether you want to check it out or not, it's up to you.
Right.
We hope you do, though.
We hope you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Vacation.
Countdown.
I don't know if I got that. Oh, I didn't even know you knew that. That's hilarious.
Welcome to the Mr. and Mrs. Inglis Podcast. I'm Meghan.
And I'm Shaen. We're here to talk about the wild ride of raising kids, growing careers, keeping life together in the middle of all the chaos.
So buckle up, because we're all in this crazy journey together.
Tater tots. I'm getting hungry.
It is dinner time.
It's dinner time.
We're putting off the kids a little bit so we can do this after hours at dinner time.
Yeah, but that's okay, because you know what comes before dinner time?
Happy hour? Oh, that was like our word. We could have ended it on that one.
We could have.
Happy hour. Nicely
hour.
done. Cheers, love.
Cheers.
To a miscellaneous weekday night.
Yes, we like those.
Oh, we can't sip at the same time, though, because that's a lot of dead time.
Oh.
So you go ahead and sip.
No, you can take a sip.
All right, take a sip.
That's a good bottle. I just opened up a new
There you go. You're supposed to talk to it. I thought you were just going to watch me sip.
No, I was talking.
That's like the dinner bell.
Yeah.
Dong.
Or in this case, it's the cocktail bell.
Cocktail bell.
Ooh, we should bring that, as like a thing.
The cocktail bell.
Mm-hmm. Hey, instead of saying tater tots, I feel like cocktail bell might get you there too.
Oh, there's a lot of word
There's a lot of
specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say bell like I come from Texas.
Like you're from Texas.
Cocktail bell.
Technically, you are from Texas.
Oh yeah, technically.
But yeah, it's
the Dirty D.
the Dirty
Born
D.
in Dallas. That's right.
Yeah, born in Dallas, but not raised.
But not raised. Not raised. So last time we were back in the studio this time,
Yes,
as you can
we
tell.
are. Yep.
Which I don't know. What were your impressions of being on location? We can talk about that a little bit more too, but on location.
Okay, so, and especially since we're going to be doing it on location, we're going to be doing Eminem on vacation coming up here.
That's right. This is just a temporary kind of holdover in the studio before we go back on.
Right. Exactly. At first it was really weird, but then once we started going, it was like we were just having a conversation on a park bench.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was weird after a while.
Yeah.
Except maybe the homeless lady.
Yeah, that was an interesting part of the whole night that we obviously stopped for, and we mentioned it if you listened to it last week.
Yeah. And even listening back when you were editing, I mean, you're like, oh, you can really hear her.
Yeah. Well, it took her like 4 minutes to kind of make the whole walk procession behind us, yelling at the air and waving at the air.
Yeah.
Poor lady.
I know. It was really sad, but she definitely made her presence known.
So outside of that, though.
I thought it actually wasn't that bad. I thought it was pretty normal. You?
Yeah. It was a little weird at first having people. Did I do morning cereal before that? And then we sat down to do that? I can't remember.
No, we did.
That was first.
This was first.
Yeah. So we literally were sitting on a bench in the middle of the campus with a tripod and the camera pointing at us, talking to each other. And we had little mics on, obviously, too. So we looked we made the joke, right? Like there's all these other people out there doing podcasts or live streams or something.
Yep. But, as our kids watch YouTube and stuff like that, and you see famous YouTubers, like they're out and about in regular public doing videos and doing things way more flamboyant. Yeah. Exactly. Thank you. Couldn't think of the word. Than we were. And nobody thinks twice about that. In fact, the one we were watching last night, the kids were watching, it's like all the people in the background were completely ignoring this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. They were. It is becoming more normal. I think you're right. And you made that point when we were actually on campus, especially for that generation. And it's summer, so not a lot of people were there to begin with.
True. Which
was nice. But I think for me, it's still odd. I mean, being a 48-year-old.
Yeah.
And, of a certain generation, to call me an influencer is something I don't want to be.
Right.
I think I've talked about that on this. We're not talking about it. We actually just spoke with another parent at a track event or kids event just not that long ago about this, where it's like, no, in no way, shape, or form do I think I am interesting enough or any of that kind of stuff, nor do you. I think that we're trying to appeal to a million people, right? That we're not trying to be the next Kardashians or anything like that. This is just something, actually, we'd enjoy it. It's good time to sit down with us.
Yes.
I know that there are friends and family that enjoy, catching up and keeping up with us.
Yeah.
Eventually, we just kind of have fun with it,
Yeah.
It's not to become the next YouTubers or influencers, all that kind of stuff. Because people I make fun of influencers, for crying out loud.
I do too.
But when you're sitting out in public and you got a camera sticking at you, staring at you, and you got a microphone on, you kind of feel like you're like a wannabe.
Yeah. I don't know. I was like, you know what? They have no idea what we're doing. I could be interviewing you, or you could be interviewing me for like the newspaper, or like the campus channel, or like there could have been a million things.
That's true. And the real truth of the matter is that who says it to me? I can't believe it's my mom who says it to me, or I've just heard it, through the years. But it's like you'd be surprised at how little people actually think about you.
Oh yeah, that's your mom.
Yeah, and not from like a character standpoint, just from
right.
Everybody's concerned with their own lives. They're not all that concerned with you.
It's true.
And we were sitting on a bench, so it's not like we were doing a dance, doing something crazy.
Yeah, we weren't impeding a primary walkway. None of that.
Primary walkway. Yeah, that is one way to make a
sidewalk. Would have been a lot easier there, but you know what I mean. I'll make fun of
you and I have had this conversation a lot lately. The older you get, the more like intellectual, the harder your brain works. It's crazy. Like you're so smart and intellectual that instead of just saying sidewalk, your brain goes to, let me make this more intellectual or harder, and I'm going to call it a primary walkway.
Yeah. Okay. So
a primary pedestrian thoroughfare.
Exactly. So for the record, primary walkway came to mind before sidewalk.
No, but that's how your brain is.
I couldn't come up with sidewalk. I couldn't even get there. So anyway.
Not that you were searching for it. I think you and I have talked about this. This is so funny because this is like very topical for us right now, where it's like you don't do things efficiently because your brain's thinking so hard. Maybe it's not thinking hard, but it's over analyzing on a naturally. Your gear for every day is overanalyze everything. Intellectually, how does this make sense, right?
Right.
And sometimes it's like, hey, just turn the knob and push.
Yeah.
It's like way easier than your brain's making it. So that was a perfect example of it.
Yeah.
Pedestrian pathways.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. For some reason, in my mind, it fit better because, like, the whole area behind us was, like, kind of just what's the word for, like, it wasn't a sidewalk behind us. It was just
It's a pedestrian walkway.
It was a pedestrian walkway.
That's what you're looking for.
That's exactly right. It was a pedestrian walkway. So it was kind of like a, area where
it was wider.
Yeah, you could mingle. Like you could mull around. It
wasn't just a fat sidewalk, a wide sidewalk.
Right.
If you look in the background, you can see what it is. But
Right.
you're right. It's a fair point you make, as usual, right? Well argued in the court of Eminem.
The court of Eminem and in my own
And in your own mind.
mind.
Yeah. No, well said. I'll give you that one for sure. And part of it is I'm probably just jealous because I'm not as intellectual as you are.
Oh, I don't. No, that's not true.
Clearly not as well spoken. That's one thing that's definitely come from this podcast.
That's not true at all.
I'm not looking for anything. So let's move on.
Yeah.
How else? Any other takeaways from that? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I'm talking too much. I'm aware of that right now. But I'll just say, I had to do morning cereal twice there, which was new because we've never done it. So we had all this extra stuff to take, tripods, camera equipment. It wasn't like big deal, but it was bigger deal to get it all around, all this kind of stuff. So it was awkward having to do it, standing there talking into the camera once by myself. And for the first time ever, I filmed a morning cereal in front of somebody.
Yeah, and you did so well.
I don't know. It was in front of you, though.
It was in front of me.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I wasn't going to say anything because I didn't want to get in your head about it. Like, oh, I'm doing this in front of her. Like, oh, I'm going to think about it. I was like, maybe he's not even thinking about it. I'm just going to stand here and
I was just trying to get
give
through
you the
it.
thumbs up.
But then you got the guys that are like walking, like I can see them out of my peripheral. They're like, oh, should I go behind him? And one guy's like, no, I'm going to go behind the camera. But there was like a foot behind the camera tripod and the bush back there. So he's like trying to squeeze through.
I'm, like,
and you're trying to
hugging
make
the
room for him. And I'm just like watching this behind camera while I'm talking.
Although my favorite was the guy who came by on the bike with like
Ding,
seven,
ding, ding, ding.
ding, ding.
Yeah.
He had like 7 trash bags, full trash bags, hanging off of the bike.
Yeah. And he circled within like 3 feet of me.
Oh yeah.
When there was 40 feet behind
Oh my
me.
gosh. I was like, he has no idea.
On the pedestrian walkway.
On the pedestrian walkway.
So that was interesting. But the next one was cool. Up in the, I was in the actual stadium
Yeah.
the next day shooting it. And I went all the way to the very top. I had a cool backdrop on that one. So I felt like maybe I was like a reporter on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm sure they sent tons of reporters there.
Well, there were a lot of people with cameras and stuff down the way from where I was. But
Yeah.
they were like professionals.
It's all right. No one needed to know that you're not a professional.
Well, I'm not. So, anywho, so that was fun, interesting, just being in front of people
Yep.
for the first time, on a camera, doing our influencer thing.
Doing our non-influencer thing.
Yeah, non-influencer. That's right. So, what was your takeaway from Eugene's first time there?
I loved the weather the first day, actually the first couple days, but it changed on a dime. Like it was, that's the only thing I wasn't quite prepared for, because whatever the weather was not what manifested itself. Like
It was just very cool. I mean, we knew it was going to get down to the 40s at night and up to the 70s, I think, during the day, but it was very cool.
Yeah.
Other than when you're in the stadium. There was no wind because somehow that did block out the wind, oddly enough, because it wasn't like a full stadium. There's open ends.
Yeah.
But then you kind of roasted a little bit. But if you went down to the walkways
gosh, it was
outside the
freezing.
stadium, the wind would pick up and it was freezing.
yeah.
Totally did not pack, well for that appropriately.
No, and the forecast was completely wrong.
Was it off?
It was completely off.
Oh, I didn't
It
pay
was
attention
supposed to be
that.
70 and sunny all day on Friday, and it was like 40 and raining.
Yeah. I thought I saw that somewhere. Maybe it was Saturday and it moved up. Or
Yeah, but
I mean, we're right on the coast. You never know. I mean, I'm sure they're used to that, right?
yeah.
Those systems kind of can just, maybe they can come off the ocean. But
It was a cute little college town.
yeah, we talked about that a little bit because
Yeah.
it was, we didn't make it anywhere really other than but on the campus and just to like a Dick's, and Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah.
I don't know. We went to a couple different restaurants on the river, which is really nice.
Yeah.
It was pretty there though.
Yeah.
It was pretty. We just didn't make it to the nicest area of town, I don't think.
I agree.
We didn't like find the cute little downtown or anything like that.
Yeah.
If there was one, I'm not sure. I'm sure there's one.
Yeah, I don't know if there was because we had a cute little downtown area where I went to school. Did you have one of those?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Every college I went to, and I went to a lot.
You're a very educated man.
Well, yeah, yes and no.
Yes, you're more educated than I am.
Well, I didn't get a degree from every college I went to. This is the point to that comment. 2 steps forward, 1 step back in some cases. You never know.
Hey, you took the path that was right for you.
Yeah. Well, it led me to you, so that's where it ended. But, which is good. I don't want to.
You don't want to brush past that.
Yeah, that was one of those little whatever we do's.
Oh, yeah. Ding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Eugene was cool. The track meet was incredible, right? Fun watching it.
It was so incredible. Like, the whole experience I thought was so cool.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to sit here and, gush on our daughter, right? I think for the most part, just so neat for her to have an experience where she's having the chance to compete against people. I mean, the girl on her team just signed a Nike deal. It came public while we were there at 14 years old. She's a multiple world record holder at 14 years old.
Yeah.
Our daughter has pictures with her, in the warm-up track, and sweet girl, very sweet girl.
Yes.
From what I've known of her, and she won while we were there, which is cool. But our daughter's is only her second USATF, which is the United States, I guess. Track and field, which is she's got, she's a registered member of it. So this is where if you're going to run track, this is what you have to do these official events.
Yep.
So this is only her second official event in this. And in fact, we have it on camera. She doesn't even know how to do I feel like I'm making excuses, but I'm not. I'm just saying this was how cool it is for her to be able to compete.
Yeah.
She doesn't know how to go out of blocks. She does know how to do blocks, but she has never really competed with them. She's never trained on them.
Yeah.
Just hasn't had time. She hasn't been doing this long enough.
No.
And we have it on video. Literally, they told her she didn't have to use blocks, and then she gets out there. They bring them out like the Olympics. It's literally where they've had the Olympic trials.
Yes, which is so cool.
Right. Incredible.
Storied track.
Storied track. But you can see her talking to her coach because the coach is yelling at her from the stands because coaches can't go down there.
Yeah.
Move the blocks back. And our daughter's like, he's saying I have to use them.
Yeah.
So this is what she's doing while everybody else is like jumping up, stretching, getting their blocks set. Our daughter's arguing with her coach and the track guy about whether or not she has to use them or not. In the end, they made her use them, and she wasn't planning on doing it. So she didn't run her best times in either event, not a PB.
No.
But she finished in the top third in both events.
Yeah.
So for her first time doing that,
Yeah.
to compete at that level, I mean, I'm just super proud of her.
So proud. Like, I can't even imagine the pressure on someone to know I'm competing against people who have trained for 9 years. I mean, there are people out there who have trained for 9 years.
They've been doing it since they were 3.
Since they were 3.
And our daughter's 13, so they've been doing it 9 to 10 years.
9 to 10 years. Knowing that she's been doing it 9 to 10 months, maybe 11 months, to be fair. And to have to change, like, you're already in a mindset of, like, this is how I'm going to start. And to change on the fly like that, to be like, because you have to be so mentally in this.
Yeah.
I mean, it completely changes everything. It completely changes how you run the race. And yet, she still went out there and did awesome.
By the way, she's got TV cameras in her face.
And that's the other thing.
They're announcing her name
Yeah.
over the loudspeakers. Yeah. I mean, it's like the Olympics. If you've watched the track meets in Olympics, it's just like that. It was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, what an experience for her.
Yeah.
And you're right. The mental toughness to get through that, and then she had to do it again in the 200, which, again, I'm not trying to overgush here, but those are the 100 and the 200 are some of the, heavyweight events.
Yeah.
And that's fun to see, So had she run even her best there, she would have done even better, obviously. Right. And she competed really tough. Just so proud of her.
Yeah. It was so cool to just be a witness to all of that and to see her succeed.
Yeah. And she was happy with it.
And that's exactly right.
Yeah. She was proud. I think she was proud of herself.
And she should be.
For getting through it, right?
Yes.
Because it's not easy. Even though she was disappointed in her time, she was.
She was
mad about it, in fact.
Yes.
Which is what a competitor should be.
Right.
But, I mean, I think we go back to we're a blessed family. A lot of times we do have a lot of blue ribbons in this household. Yeah. And I think it's great to get out of that small pond. Not that DFW area is a small pond.
No.
The biggest high schools and all that kind of stuff. So, but you get into a national spotlight. It's national. So that's the big pond.
That's a really big pond.
And for only being your second when some of these other girls have probably run hundreds of these, and to be in the top third of it, man, so proud of that. I mean, just raw talent there. But again, you don't have to get first place to be proud of yourself.
No.
You don't have to be the best. You don't have to get first place. All that, you know what I mean?
Right.
which I think so many times, at least in our family, I know that's a little bit of the feel, just because we've been blessed to have kids that are, just very competitive and play at their some of the highest levels with their peers.
Right. So it was, all in all, it was just a fabulous experience, and like just the pride that you feel as a parent.
Yeah.
Watching your child do something that, I don't know, if I had put myself in her shoes as a 13-year-old, would I have had the confidence and mental toughness to go out there and do something like that? I don't think I could have.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I would have been paralyzed with fear.
Yeah. Well, I always tell the story. I mean, I played all the sports, but my best sport was basketball, and I'll never forget the first team I played on for, what was it called? I always forget that. What was it called?
AAU?
Yeah, AAU, good Lord. The first AAU team I played for was Superflow, and the very first game, we went down to Arizona, first tournament we were in. I was so nervous that I went up to shoot on the wrong rim.
Really?
The wrong end of the basketball court.
I did not know that. I'm trying not to laugh.
First touch on the basketball, I took 2 dribbles, jumped up, jump shot, and I realized in the air that I'm like, this is not my goal that I should be shooting on. So I passed it. I didn't get to travel or anything like that. But I was so nervous. I mean, there are a lot of NBA players that actually played. Kevin Garnett was there.
Yeah.
Pat Garrity was there. Gosh, I can't think of all of them right now. But there was a group that was my age that went to the NBA that I played against at those things. I mean, there's a lot of times I played with those guys. A couple of those guys were in Colorado. Like Pat Garrity was in Monument.
Right.
So, I've got video of him and I in 8th grade and 9th grade playing each other.
Yeah.
He was a year older than me, but.
That's crazy.
But I was nervous was my point to that. And those nerves, I always had those, even through, high school, all-star games, all-state games. I was nervous. Once I got out there, I kind of got it out, but I was nervous.
Right.
First practice in college, nervous as all could be. Here's another one for you. First practice in college, right? After we're all there. This is the first. We've all been there for a few days, but this is the first official practice.
Right.
At the end of practice, everybody knows in basketball, so we're all there shooting free throws. So the coach, you're also doing runnings because you're trying to get in shape. He's pulling people out of the line on the baseline, having you shoot a free throw. Okay. If you make your free throw, nobody runs. You miss your free throw, everybody runs suicides. Okay. So I get my name called finally. And I'll preface this with, I was a very good free throw shooter, right? I mean, long story short, I was a very good, high percentage free throw shooter.
Yeah.
I missed the entire rim on my shot because I was so, I'm sure my hands were just just vibrating like you wouldn't believe. I hit the side of the backboard to the right of the rim like a brick you would never, my arms were like, I'm sure just like lead pipes. You're like, ugh. No, I'm sure it didn't even resemble a shot, but those are nerves.
Yeah.
And those are hard to work through because I know our boys work on that too, but
yeah,
our daughter did that. Did you feel that in dance when you did dance ever? Or where have you ever felt those kind of nerves where it almost paralyzed you? I know you got to pull up your big boy boots, but.
I remember mine have always were, yes, dancing, because oftentimes, like if I had a solo or something, like, it's all on me. I'm the only one out there.
Were you nervous before it or nervous during it?
Before.
Yeah. Once you got into it.
Once the second I stepped on stage.
Yeah.
For dance specifically, I wasn't nervous.
Yeah.
I would say one of my first big presentations in the corporate world.
Yeah.
And I had an audience of 400 people or something like that. It's a large number, and it was like, I just remember hoping that people couldn't tell that my heart was beating through the jacket I was wearing, I was terrified.
Could you hear it in your voice? Did you feel like you could hear it in your voice?
If I think back to that one, probably at first, but it's once I got through the first few sentences, I was fine.
Okay.
And now I don't mind that stuff at all.
Yeah. You're very good at it. You're used to it, yeah.
I'm used to it, but man, I just
it's
remember
exposure therapy for you, right?
Yeah. I remember, I think I had to hold a microphone on that one, and I was like, please don't let my hands shake, because everyone will see if my hands are shaking.
Yeah. I've seen people do that.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, this poor guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
you can hear it, you can see it.
You can see it. Yeah.
And now I'm uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah.
You don't want to be that presenter that's making everybody uncomfortable.
You're like, oh wow. Ugh,
Let's all just take a break for 15 minutes.
like, maybe get some water, Valium, whatever.
Yeah, I'm actually not feeling that great, so.
Yeah.
I felt the same way when I went to a professional, and this is coming from, I say it all the time, if you don't know I'm an introvert, where have you been? But introvert.
Not watching us.
Not watching it. CMTP, which was Credit Management Training Program for Wells Fargo, the bank I worked with for a long time, and I went through the finance thing there. But back then, you had to actually apply for that. You had to interview for it. It was kind of prestigious. Only the top people got picked for it. So somehow I got picked for it. And there's like, at that point, there was only so many classes.
Yeah.
And so you could look back and like CFOs went through it, and it was prestigious. Like a lot of big names had gone through it. So I got to go there, but with that came the pressure of it, right? Because there's only like 20 of us maybe in the class.
Yeah, it was
and
small.
that's when we had just been married, and I moved to San Francisco without you for 5 months.
Yeah.
And I lived with a roommate named Shaen. And his wife, Meghan.
Yes.
Which
the
is
irony
a
there.
whole other story there. Great people. By the way, hi.
Hey, yeah. Hi.
Another
Yeah,
one.
Yeah.
You always are finishing my
Sandwiches.
Yeah. And I remember in that one, I just felt so out of my league, like, how did I get picked for this? But they would go around, and a lot of these people are like MBAs at the time, and I was not an MBA at the time. Just very, most of them were younger than me, just very self-assured people, right? As you find in finance quite a bit.
Yes.
And they know their answers and stuff like that. And my heart would just even just for like the introductions. Like, hey, everybody, say your name, where you're from, how long you been at the bank, what group you're with, just easy stuff.
Right.
Slam dunks. And I would just be sweating profusely with my hands, my voice, I could feel it. And even that was hard to do.
Yeah.
So, I hopefully other people are like that, but I know they're not, because like I was always worried about sweating, like pitting out sweating.
Yeah.
And I see other people like in my profession that would do that, or not pit out, but they'd be up there and like nobody's sweating. And I'm like wearing 18 layers to make sure I don't sweat through things.
Right. Right. For the record, they all do. Like,
you do that?
Absolutely.
Good.
Because I've been around it enough, and I've been around other presenters and whatever, so I've seen it up close. I'm like, yeah, everyone does.
The one bit of feedback that I ever got that got me a little bit more comfortable with myself doing that, presenting to people and whatnot, was the fact that, it was one of these classes they put you through, and you got to present, you're learning how to do it better and whatnot. But the feedback from the class was that I came across very confidently. Yeah. You couldn't hear it in my voice. I spoke loudly. I spoke confidently. And I was like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that was the one thing that I took away in my younger career, that was like, okay, somehow I'm pulling it off.
Right. Well, the way it was explained to me, because I had this similar experience. I was in one of those classes, and the person who was presenting was like, I was searching for words, and I couldn't. They were terrified, they said, and that's what they were telling us. And it was like, well, it just came across as you were being thoughtful, and nobody can hear the own panic that's going around, and your thoughts are racing so fast that it makes it feel, and so many thoughts go through at one time that it feels like it's a long pause, or no one knows the insecurities that are inside your head. Yeah. The worst case scenario is just forgetting what you're trying to say, though, and searching for it, And that was something probably for the first 3 years of my career that just plagued me, because it terrified me. Yeah. Because at that point you're young, you're green, you're trying to impress, the senior guys, the senior credit guys who are just trying to make you look like an idiot. I had a guy that was doing that. Yeah. He was a jerk. He was. First off. And he tried to do that to everybody. He just wanted to be the smartest guy ever. And he loved making people look like idiots. Yeah. And that terrified me. It scarred me for a long time. That's why when I actually eventually ran my own team, you and I have talked about this. I'm like, I want people to feel okay not knowing the answer. Yes. Because I don't think most of us do know the answers all the time right off the bat. Oh. So let's be collaborative. Let's talk about it. If you don't know, that is okay. Yes. I'd rather you say you don't know so we can figure it out, and I'll help you. That's exactly right.
Right. Yeah.
I subscribe to that philosophy as well. Like,
Yeah.
and that happens in interviews too. I mean, like, I don't know, I was talking to someone recently. I was like, that could just be their MO. Like, they're just trying to scare you in the interview. Like,
Yeah.
they think they want to see how you do under pressure. Like, I know people who have done that, and they're like, yeah, that's just what I do in an interview. And I was like, whereas I'm the opposite. I try to make someone feel more comfortable because I feel like I'm going to get
Better read for them.
better read on them, and like they're going to be more apt to do their best if they're in a comfortable environment.
Right.
You know,
Right angle somebody into a bad position.
correct. That's a interesting phrase.
I don't know. It's like pedestrian walkways.
It's a pedestrian walkway. Right angle someone into a bad position.
That's right. That's right. Oh, man.
Funny.
I mean, we could talk about this forever, and we'll come back to it, I'm sure, at some point in time. But I want to leave time just to talk about kind of what's happened since then. So first off, super excited and proud of our daughter for doing
Yes.
that. It was an awesome trip, and we laughed about the fact that we spent all that money, 4 or 5 days in Oregon, and even if she won every one of her events, she would have been on the track for less than a minute.
Huh?
Because
4 days,
she's in the
thousands of
sprints.
dollars. Oh yeah,
And less than a minute.
less than a minute.
And as it turns out, it was about 30 seconds.
Yeah,
A little over.
little over.
All that.
It was a little over half a second.
It's crazy.
Or-
Think about all the equipment I bought just to travel so we could do the podcast there for 40 seconds. Less than a minute. If she
Less than a
won
minute.
it. World records, all that kind of stuff, it would have been less than a minute on the track.
Yeah. I know. It is pretty
Love
funny.
it though. And we're blessed to be able to support our kids for that. So
Right.
that's awesome. I'm happy we can do it.
It was fun.
So we came back late. We got back late on a Friday night, and it was Monday that it kind of had come up, and I'm like, do we want to raise our hand?
Oh yeah. So yeah, people were talking about, hey, maybe we should get the soccer team together for a party
For our youngest.
for the youngest, and you're like, hey, have you been watching all the?
Well, it wasn't a soccer party. It was just people were coming to our side of town, which we live on the wrong side of town for soccer, right?
We do.
Yeah.
Everything's on.
And
the
somebody was trying to basically button something onto that. Not button, but
Right, but they were just trying to append, maybe. Yeah, like everyone's already over here. Should we get the kids together and have some type of get together? It's a relatively new formed team, and
right. Go to like a restaurant or something that was just like 10 minutes down the road from our house.
Right.
And we had the soccer party at our house last year. So
Exactly.
they'd already considered offering it again. Go ahead.
Yes. So this was the Monday before we left, and we're like, okay, hey, does everyone just want to come over to our house? Yes, that seemed like the best idea, knowing that we were then leaving to go out of town Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
So say what you said to the new team
So-
manager.
I told the team manager, I was like, I'm really good at offering our house and offering a venue for the party. I am not a party planner. If you know me, you know I am not a planner. I'm not. I'm terrible at it. I said it 3 or 4 times, just for the record, on that call.
Just to make it clear, right?
Just to make it clear.
Happy to provide the facility.
The facility. Anything anyone needs, someone else has to plan.
Because we got a great setup. We got a basketball / pickleball court. We got a big, almost soccer field in the back with a full-size soccer goal on it. We got a trampoline. We got multiple sitting areas. Got a big pool. We have a blow-up slide for the kids.
Yes.
Big patio for all the parents.
It really is the perfect setup. And we
built
did
it to entertain like that.
Exactly. And that
Built it for this reason.
we did.
Yeah.
So obviously
Happy to share.
happy to share, and it's easy for us to say, hey, just everyone come on over. Everyone was close anyway, because of another event that we had. Anyway, so it turns out that I ended up planning most of it, which
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't want to throw the team manager under the bus here at all, but it was like you told her, hey, you plan it. I'm not a good planner. You can have it at our house. Just, everybody can show up on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like 2 days after we get back from Eugene. And
Yeah.
she's like, okay,
Okay.
cool. I'm also on vacation, so we'll figure it out.
Yeah. So it turns out it wasn't until the day before that anything got figured out.
Yeah, so it's Saturday now, right?
And I'm like, hey, are you going to send up like a sign up sheet for people to bring
And
things?
she texts you like, what else do we need? And like, I don't, planning? I don't know. Planning of the whole event at this point, I guess?
I mean, we've planned out.
I've got the house. I checked my box, right?
I checked my box. That's exactly right.
I did that on Monday, actually. So
Right.
overachiever.
Yeah, we're pretty awesome at that. But like, anyway, so Saturday was a bit of a scramble.
Which we got in at 1 a.m. Saturday morning.
Yes. So I was already I was kind of crabby anyway. We'll just call it out. We'll just say what it was. Meghan
We
was
didn't
really
sleep
crabby.
well at the VRBO, the
No.
Verbo.
No, we did not. For lots of reasons, but yeah. Like, is someone breaking into our car? That was the one night. Anyway, so anyway, we are this whole thing. It was a rush. We were even rushing to get things ready at the house because we had been gone for 4 days.
Right.
And
I hadn't, we've just been so busy with life, and everybody is, but, we hadn't even done the spring, like, flower planting. Like, we didn't have any
Right.
flowers in any of our pots, any of our
Right.
flower beds. We didn't have plants in any of the pots that are, the annual ones that you had to put
Yeah.
in, whatever.
Yeah. So we were racing around on top of everything else after we got in at 1 a.m. all day Saturday trying to get all this. I'm trying to get things coordinated. I don't know. So come Sunday.
Well, you did. I mean, it was like, it ended up being, you're glossing over so many things. And God bless her, too. She hadn't even been back from her vacation.
No,
yet
they
either.
were
So
on vacation.
I think
the
she
whole time.
maybe had thought you would do a little bit more, but I don't think she understood you were out of town, too. So we were both totally out of town, not touching this till Saturday,
Right.
which everybody's coming over, 60-some people almost,
Right.
on Sunday. And it's like, oh, hey, by the way, we had a practice, or we had a scrimmage on that Saturday,
Yeah.
which we got up for. After being in at 1 a.m., we left at 9 a.m. for a scrimmage.
For scrimmage.
And people were like, hey, what do we need to bring? I haven't seen anything. We're like, oh, I don't know. We haven't planned anything, apparently.
Yeah.
So you guys back and forth quite a bit. And I think she ended up just, because you pushed back a little bit, like, I don't know what you want to do. And she's like, fine, I'll just get it all.
I'll just
I think is
buy
what
it
she
all.
kind of said.
Yeah.
Which made us feel bad, but it's like, we checked our box on Monday. I'm so sorry. That was the understanding we approached this with.
Right. It was a rather hectic day.
Yeah.
As everyone's scrambling to find things and people are asking me what we should bring. And I was like, I'm not good at party planning. I wasn't planning on
And I'm not in charge.
And I'm not in charge. Yeah. So that was fun. So come the day of the party.
That was just the beginning of the fun.
That was the beginning of the fun. So we're getting ready. I'm getting ready for the party. At that point, you've been outside all day, like planting things, getting ready in the backyard. I mean, you'd been out in 100-degree heat. And it's about...
And a side note to anybody else that's doing this. So we're going on vacation this week, and everybody wants to get in vacation, shape, right?
Yes,
I got
yes.
a couple beaches to go through. I don't want to be fat dad, fat bod, all that kind of stuff. Well, guess what? Instead of losing weight, I've gained like 10 pounds, right? Instead of losing weight, I've gained 10 pounds. So I'm out there sweating it out. Like, that's fine. I'm not going to eat. I'm just going to keep it going, trying to lose weight. Anyways, that's one of the reasons why I was like, I was out there sweating it out, just really trying to get done all the stuff doing and lose a little bit of weight.
And lose a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Sweat out all the, bad stuff.
My tangent there was just to say, hey, hopefully other people understand that. Like, you're like, have you ever tried to lose weight and get in shape for a beach vacation and you end up gaining weight? Like, that's frustrating. It can't be just me.
It can't, no, because it's me too. So
Yeah.
it can't just be us.
Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, all of a sudden, I'm trying to get ready, and I realize
This is the morning of.
This is
Oh, this is the afternoon of.
the afternoon of. This is 45
So times.
minutes.
You need to start putting times in here so they understand.
45 minutes before 60 people are showing up at our house. I'm getting ready, and I'm realizing that the shower is not draining.
Yeah.
At all.
Probably your hair.
Probably my hair is what I was thinking. But I was like, usually it just drains slowly if it's my hair. This isn't draining at all. So I'm literally I have conditioner in my hair, all of that. Send our daughter out to get you. Turns out we start trying to flush toilets in the house. None of them flush. And I was like, does our guest bathroom stink to you? I'm like, it stunk so bad.
Who said that?
I did.
Oh, because
So
I sent somebody in there. I said,
I sent our daughter in.
ours wasn't flushing. That one, I said, well, can people use, because I was thinking well, if 60 people are coming to your house, maybe they can just go to the guest bathroom. Is the
Right.
guest bathroom working? So somebody
Yes.
went in there.
So I went in there, tried to flush that toilet. It didn't work, and it stunk so bad. So I was like, well, maybe it's just me. I have a super strong nose. So I sent our daughter in there and asked her, can you smell anything in there? And she's like, oh my gosh. So then we go to get you, and that's when we see that there is sewage.
And I was still outside,
Yeah.
just getting ready to be like, okay, I have 20 minutes until
20
it shows
minutes.
up. And I haven't even showered yet or anything. I'm cutting it close.
Yes. And there is sewage backing up into the shower of our guest bathroom.
Yep.
Which
I
is
went
what-
in there, and I have a terrible nose.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm surprised you're like, can you smell that? Because it was like peeling the paint off the walls. It was so strong.
It was so bad.
Oh my gosh, it was terrible.
So bad. So we are about to have 60 people at our house. We have sewage backing up into the house. No use of toilets.
They don't flush, they just bubble
Bubble.
and fill a little bit more,
Yeah.
which is scary.
Which is really scary.
Kind of feel like you're going to, drown in your own sewage at that point.
We're swimming in
But
sewage.
we have bigger problems because 60 people are coming to our house, and
And we don't have bathrooms.
none of them can use the restroom.
hmm
So use the pool, I guess. I mean, what are they going to do? Behind the I mean, like, now we're starting to think of this. Do we cancel it?
Right. I mean, people are on their way.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're trying to get a plumber that's around on a Sunday.
The manager's probably bought $300 worth of food.
Right. And she's like, I really don't want to cancel because I just bought all this food.
Now I'm on the phone with plumbers.
You're on the phone with the plumbers. Anyway, we decide to have the party and just say, hey guys. So I sent out a message to everyone saying, hey, party's on, but
Pooper's off.
pooper's off. So you may want to stop somewhere before you arrive to use the facilities. Like,
Pooper's full.
I should have just
I'm
sent
thinking
that.
of a different term from Christmas
Honestly,
Vacation.
I should have just sent that. And like a picture of Cousin
Yeah,
Eddie.
you should have done that.
I
That
totally should have.
would have been hilarious. Oh my gosh.
I mean, in the spur of the moment, I wasn't thinking that clearly, or because this was not funny. We weren't laughing.
Yeah, that was stressful. Couple hours. I mean, I was on the phone. We did find somebody finally that could come out and look at it.
Yeah.
He snaked it. We were hoping that we were going to get it fixed while people were here. He couldn't get it cleared. He didn't have the right equipment that day for whatever reason. So, I mean, literally, we had the last people didn't leave till 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Came at 4. So people were at our house for 4 hours
Yeah.
with no working toilets.
Yep.
And
I mean,
and then we're like, do we have to go to a hotel tonight?
right. We're like, we can't. Yeah. So
The city came out. We actually had the city come out.
did have the city.
The sewer was,
Yeah.
so it was on our side. I mean, there was all this stuff to it. We don't need to bore you, I guess, with the details. But, oh my gosh, that is a level. There's a lot going on right now. You're preparing for a big vacation.
yeah.
There's just so much going on right now that we don't even go into detail with. And then you deal with, now we can't use sinks. We can't shower. We can't use the restroom in our own house that we just built 2 years ago, by the way.
But-
We haven't even been in it for 2 years.
Exactly.
Not yet. Next
Not
month
yet.
we will.
I know.
Whoa.
It was insanity. I mean, so like until it gets fixed. I mean, I was driving to CVS I'd be, working. We'd both be on calls, and I think the kids would be like, "Hey, whose call can I interrupt now to tell them I need to go use the bathroom so we can drive to the Starbucks or the CVS to go use the
Oh
restroom?"
my gosh, I felt so bad too because on Sunday when everybody was here, I mean, I went out and greeted everybody at the garage. I mean, at our driveway entrance because
Yeah.
you can park quite a few cars in our little front of our house. But I told everybody, "Hey, welcome, welcome. I'm sure you heard you can't use the restroom here.
Oh my gosh.
We have no running water because you just never know. Some kid runs in. I mean, 'cause
Right.
there's young siblings and stuff. So all these families, primarily with the girls,
Right.
are like having to leave, hop in their car, drive 5 minutes up the road to CVS,
Right.
and come all the way back. I mean, I think the boys figured out. Hopefully not the pool. The pool's very cloudy. I noticed after
I
everybody
know.
left.
I was like,
That's just,
oh my
which
god.
is the only way I got clean because I couldn't take a shower after
Right.
just sweating out 5 pounds of sweat.
I could not
earlier that day.
believe you must have felt disgusting.
Well, we have an outdoor shower, thank
Yes,
God, which is just
yes.
run off of, what is that?
Like
a
a hose, yeah.
Right, and it goes into that thing. It actually heats it up, so it's kind of warm. So I actually rinsed off on the outdoor shower, and then I sat in our hot tub over here, which is totally separate,
Yeah.
which was nice, off the master bedroom.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't totally disgusting, but it had been a while since a proper shower.
Yeah.
Come Monday afternoon when we find, and then the guy, the plumber is supposed to come back on Monday morning, the next Monday morning, 8 to 10.
Didn't show up till what time?
After I raised a little bit of a, I'm not going to say HE double hockey sticks because we got a G rating on this show.
I think even the G rating, you can say HE double hockey sticks.
Well, I don't want to say that. My grandfather used to say, preaching behind the pulpit, fire and brimstone.
Fire and brimstone.
Actually, he wasn't like that much. My uncle might have been a little bit different on that. But yeah, he didn't show up till like 5:30 the next day. Oh, by the way, he's 8 hours late. I mean, we had called other people. We had canceled other people because this other guy was coming. I mean, oh my gosh. So long story short, people, we're with you when you have those issues.
Yes.
Call us up.
Yeah.
We can empathize.
Yeah.
Only a 2-year-old home. Apparently our primary sewer drain has some bellies in it, some low spots, which I don't know. We'll have to figure that out in the future. But
yeah. My favorite, and this is never what you want to hear from your plumber on a sewage issue, is, well, you know, it might be okay for a while, but it's a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
I'm like,
the first thing he said to me is, you definitely don't want to put toilet paper down here anymore. Like, do you know anybody that puts toilet paper in a trash can?
not in the U.S.
In the U.S.
So you know,
that was his first thing. So I think that. Go ahead.
No, keep going.
I think that's a plumber thing, being like, oh, this guy's gonna pay me some money.
Don't ever put toilet paper.
I've done a little bit of Googling, researching since then, and there's quite a few main sewer lines that have like bellies and low spots in them from settling or driveways going over and whatnot. It is not ideal, but it's also not Armageddon.
Like, well, and I mean, how do you? What do you do with the toilet paper?
Well, I think you still put it down there. I think the situation we're in, so everybody knows now, is you might just have like
literally airing all of our dirtiness.
Dirty sewage.
Yeah.
Which is as dirty as it gets, I guess. But I think what we have to do, we may just have to have an annual, like, just kind of clean out of that main line. What it is, just to make sure it's clear. It's not. I mean, hopefully it's not backing up on a like every 3-month basis.
Right.
Brand new stinking house, brand new sewer. The city, I mean, brought the sewer to us.
It's the sewer is brand new in the last 2.5 years.
Yeah, they came out. The city was the best, actually. They came out immediately.
They were immediate.
The next day they came out. They were very, communicative. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was good.
Yeah.
Anyways, you talk about the chaos train. That's what we talk about in this, Mr. and Mrs.
Yeah. I mean,
this is what we all deal with, right? It's just life.
It is. Like, you knew it was already going to be hectic with throwing a party on top of coming back from, being halfway across the country, and then life just puts more crap in your lap. And in this case, literally.
Then you're just trying to smile. You're trying to smile at these parties. I mean, it's like, this is life. Everybody goes through it, but nobody knows it behind the curtain sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean, we didn't even mention that there's probably a kid that broke his nose at the party. There was another kid that lost half the skin off his shin. I mean, like, it was a crazy 48 hours.
I really do hope that kid is okay. That nose was definitely broken. I don't know that I've ever seen so much blood come out of. I mean, and it's just like, how is this happening? Yeah. You were gone most of the party because you're dealing with the city and the plumber and all of that. I'm literally running around like a crazy person. I mean, I had to get ice for 3 different kids, just for the record.
And last year was like smooth.
Smooth sailing.
Smooth sailing.
Oh, and 5 Band-Aids.
And working bathrooms, but
yeah. Yeah, the bathrooms worked last year. It was just... It was chaos. Yeah. There's no other. I was like, am I getting punked? It honestly was like, is someone just testing me right now to see what it's going to take for me to break?
There are tough years in people's lives, right? And I think it was 2024 or 2025. I mean, I don't know. This will be one of those years that we're like, that was a tough year for us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe it hurdles the years or something, but like, this will be one of them that it's like, man, that was a year.
Took some lumps.
That we had to really fight through it.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep putting one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
Just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming. Thank you.
I'm just putting a lot of metaphors out there.
Yeah.
One of them's going to land.
I like it.
All right. Well, let's land this episode.
Love what you did there.
Yeah, my transition there, huh?
Fantastic.
Yeah. They're bad when you actually point them out like that, though, right? You should just let it go. Like, well,
I don't
like
know.
I do that all the time, you know.
I thought it was worth mentioning how good I thought that was.
It's worth mentioning. Yeah. Well, that's true. Very few bright spots I provide. So we'll point out the good ones when we do. But next, Mr. and Mrs. will be coming from you on location from the other side of the world.
Yep.
Which is going to be hopefully. Tune in. I don't know if we're entertaining or what we are, but at least you'll have a pretty background on that one.
Right.
If nothing else.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you can just laugh at us and be like, man, those guys are like, totally don't have their stuff together.
Those influencers are never going to make it. What are they doing?
What are they doing?
Yeah.
Well,
it's okay. We're not trying to be influencers, but we are going to the other side of the world and having an awesome background for our next podcast. So whether you want to check it out or not, that's up to you.
Right.
We hope you do, though.
We hope you do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, should we close it?
Let's close it. You know your number?
I do. Mine's a couple words.
Couple words. All right. Mine's 1. And I know it.
All right. Well, then let me rethink mine.
I feel like I'm sitting here like I want to give you a hint.
Okay. I got it.
All right. You may have reconsidered yours because I said I had a single word. And you seemed like, oh, maybe I should reconsider. Did you reconsider?
I did reconsider.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Vacation.
Countdown. I was going to do vacation.
You should have done it then.
I was totally going to do vacation, but I was like, it's really the countdown. Like, we're at the countdown.
Yeah, I was going to say like 72 hours, whatever it is. Less than 100 hours away.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like suitcases need to be pulled out at this point.
That's what we're doing tonight.
Oh,
well, our daughter and I are going to be picking out some of her outfits.
Oh, outfit picking out. That's awesome.
Outfit picking.
I don't know
Fit
that I've got
check.
that. Oh, I didn't even know you knew that. That's hilarious. Fit check.
Well, I heard it from her.
Yeah. Kids, that's a kids this age thing. All right. Well, hey, let's wrap this one up. We'll let everybody get back to their days, their chaos trains.
Yes. And hopefully your chaos train is still on the rails. Ours went off a little bit.
But yeah, we're steering it back on, or we're just laying new
Just laying new rails.
rails.
Yeah.
That's right. Something like that. I guess that's what you do.
It's a mixed metaphor, but
That's all right. I throw a lot of metaphors out there, so it's going to land. Somebody will understand it.
exactly.
That's right. All right. Well, have a fantastic week. Hopefully, we'll see you back here with a pretty cool background next week. And until then,
See ya.
all right. We'll see you. Bye now.